Yeah, it'd be cool to have the option all speakers or follow me.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like being stalked by your Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Don't go towards the light?
Don't, because then the show would never be produced again, because we're certainly not going to edit it. Well, I was using Hide My for a while.
Have you guys ever tried USSR VPN?
Dude, great minds think alike.
Putin Central VPN? Yeah, no, I haven't tried that one.
Do you think that God sat back on the seventh day and said, gosh, I shouldn't have gave humans continuous update?
That's true. That's very theological.
I bet he regrets that now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Should have kept us at 2.0.
Yep. Maybe he likes us, though. You know, maybe he's a blind guy. I don't know.
I watched your show.
It was great.
Okay, you guys ready to do this? You ready to confetti?
So ready. Yeah.
Big energy. Big energy.
Big smiles.
Smiles.
Yeah.
Smiles and laughs.
Smile, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay. I smiled in 1975, and I haven't since.
Wow.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to yet another action-packed That Blind Tech Show. I'm here with the usual gang. How you doing today, Allison?
I'm doing okay. I'm coming at you from a new computer and a new headset.
Yeah, we might have to add that into the outline for the show and everything. Let the listeners know what you're using over there. Jeff, old computer, old technology, what are you running over there?
Old microphone, old mixer, the whole old...
Old Jeff, yeah.
Old Jeff.
Hey, but you did get a new iPad recently.
Yeah.
So, everybody, and we're going to get into products a little later and everything. We've been doing a little shopping here at That Blind Tech Show and everything.
You're kind of covering for a lot of us.
I am. I did mean to ask you, Allison, have you been shopping on the Blind Abilities corporate expense account like I have?
Oh, I've spent at least $1 million in the past 5 minutes. Sorry, Jeff.
Okay.
Ching, ching. Ching, ching.
And if the listeners want the credit card number, it's 867-5309. So there's that.
I got it.
For a good time. And that's all the singing for the show, we promise you. So last night I was lounging around on the couch, because if you've ever listened to this show, you know how much I love the couch. And I was working real hard on the outline for this show, because I always wait until the night before. And, of course, I had the Yankees game on in the background, and what do I hear but throwing out the first pitch for the New York Yankees tonight is a woman with Usher syndrome, Rebecca Alexander, who's actually a good friend of mine and everything. I was like, how cool.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking, well, she's not even a Yankees fan. Why didn't they ask me? And then I remembered how much I angry tweet the Yankees, and I'm probably banned from the stadium.
You probably are.
But how cool is that?
That is neat.
Now, I was deciding, you know me, I wouldn't get offended. She, I guess, did not throw the ball anywhere near home plate, which I probably wouldn't even do, and I used to be a baseball player before I went blind. And the announcers were kind of laughing. Do you think that was inappropriate, or...?
Well, it is a Yankees game.
Yeah. I mean,
she didn't pitch any worse than the Yankees pitcher, Sonny Gray. No, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I guess we don't know their hearts. They could have just been trying to be lighthearted about it. Most people do not engage in what we would consider discriminatory behaviors because they are actually people who are who discriminate. I think that sometimes they just don't understand, and so we have to try to give people a break more often than not.
Yeah, if only the rest of society could learn that. I don't think there was any malicious intent behind it.
No.
I think, it was just like... And they did use the line from Major League just a bit outside, which, when the pitcher threw it nowhere near home plate in the movie. Anyways, great job for you, Rebecca, and I hope to see you soon. I was very impressed that you got to do that, and can't wait to hear all about what you got to see behind the scenes and everything. We like to give shout-outs to our listeners here, or people that retweet us a lot, and I thought we would have to mention on this episode, because we haven't done it in a while, our dumbest Twitter follower, because there's a guy on Twitter following us, and he was tweeting us a lot and retweeting us, and I went and looked at his Twitter timeline, Allison, and it ends up his whole thing was about voiceover acting.
So not voiceover, the screen reader, but voiceover.
No, but we do get a daily mention in Voiceover Acting Daily, so I thought that was pretty funny.
We must be really good. Wow. Holy crap.
Maybe, Jeff, he loves our voices on the podcast, and it's not about our Twitter timeline.
Well, our voices are rather mellifluous.
Well, Brian, since I've been paying attention to that show.
Oh, you sound so blind. Please don't do that.
I'm still stuck on the word mellifluous. Can you explain that for us dumb podcasters? I am not familiar with that word. Is that Pig Latin?
It's English major.
Oh.
It's a voice that is very pleasant, melodic, having a good full timbre, if you will.
Ooh, somebody reads the dictionary when not on the podcast.
Oh, surely I do.
I'm betting this guy doesn't know the word mellifluous because this is the story of the week, Allison. Did you read about this burglar who was breaking into the elderly couple's house and trying to steal their Wi-Fi password with a black mask on?
Oh, my goodness. What an idiot.
Yeah. He'll be on our next show, by the way.
His name is Brian.
Yes, but not Fischler. It's Feischler.
Ah,
Jeff, have you ever broken into anybody's house to steal their Wi-Fi?
Neither.
Neither.
No, neither. I mean, sometimes you pop up your Wi-Fi and your neighbors. It's kind of funny, though, the different names that they'll have. Like you'll see Big Bob or something, just whatever comes up. It's like, huh, what neighbor's that? But no, I never thought about going into their house and asking them or demanding their password.
Yeah, and we'll put this story in the show notes. My favorite part, if you read the whole thing, was a woman a few blocks away said there was a man in a black mask at her window screaming at her, "I need your Wi-Fi password, I'm out of data."
Oh my gosh.
These millennials will steal anything nowadays, so you might want to keep your Wi-Fi password secure. You never know what's going to happen. Don't have it taped on your desk in Braille.
Yeah. Speaking of Wi-Fi, have you ever tried in a big apartment complex to try to match the Wi-Fi SSID with whatever quirky neighbor you have? Like, I know there was one in one place where I lived, it was Puffins United, and I was always trying to figure out who Puffins United was. I never did figure it out.
I have not tried that, and I can't tell this full story on the podcast, but I think I can tell some of it. My buddy who lives in Brooklyn was telling me there was a loud bar that used to play music in his old neighborhood, and somebody created or named, like, that lived in distance where if you were at the bar, you would pick up their Wi-Fi address, named their, I guess, Wi-Fi network, the name of the establishment with like 16 of the filthiest words after it. So people would be in there and be like, well, that's inappropriate. And they never knew. They even took out an ad or something asking this person to stop or something. It was really funny and everything. So I wish I lived close to it. Well, no, I don't. I don't like living around annoying people and everything. ESP, that's Echo Spatial Perception. And I've yet to check if this is working because I am now a small apartment owner with 3 of these A-Lady devices. And supposedly they're slowly rolling this out. Now, I believe, Allison, are you a multiple homeowner of A-Lady devices?
I am, and this might explain why my Sonos doesn't really talk anymore when I summon the A-Lady, because I think the thermostat is picking it up.
Ah, so it's kind of cool, but I have 3 different names, the A-Lady, the Amazon Lady, the E-Lady, and I'm thinking about changing them all back to the A-Lady. What about yourself?
I've got A-Lady, Amazon Lady, I've got computer, because I've got computer in the master bedroom and Amazon in the master bathroom, which is right in the same room, basically. So
when you say computer, does Jeremy answer?
Well, he's a computer nerd, so.
Jeff, now I know you have a Google Home and an A-Lady. Do you have multiple A-Ladies?
I got multiple of each, and I just think it's a bunch of friends hanging out with me, so don't steer me wrong here. No, that's kind of cool. Proximity, it'll be able to detect which one you're actually closest to. That's kind of cool. And it'll work with third-party devices as well, so because they're putting it up in the cloud.
Yeah.
The only thing is when you're a dummy like me and you keep your 8-inch tablet.
Easy.
Hey, it's a bigger than average tablet. When you keep your tablet, your Amazon tablet sitting next to your Echo, I don't think either one of them can tell, because I had to turn off the automatic answer on the tablet. It works really well, but don't sit it right next to the device that does that and everything. Yeah. So, and another cool thing that Amazon, they're just coming out with, we're taking on the world. We want the world and we want it now, I guess Amazon's motto. Now you could cast from the Amazon Music app, which I am an Amazon Music Unlimited subscriber, so I could, use it on multiple. But I tried it the other day, and it works fantastically well with VoiceOver to cast from the Amazon Music app to your A-Lady device. Does this excite either of you?
No, because I would just use my voice to play whatever I was wanting to play anyway.
Yeah, but if you're in the middle of a song, it's kind of fun to do it. And the thing I do like about it, this is the thing that I do like most about casting music, is the voiceover stays on the phone. It doesn't go through the speakers. It is the advantage over Bluetooth and everything. I would love if they could get this in Downcast, because the Downcast app can cast to your AirPlay device as well as your Google Home, but this is brand new, hopefully eventually, because that's my best speaker, is my A-Lady device. What about you, Jeff? Is this something you'll find useful?
Well, I would like for them to hook it up with the ESP type of thing, so proximity. So if I do have it on my phone and I'm walking through my house, it would be neat that each speaker picks it up, at least the closest one that I'm near. So if I'm doing laundry or doing other household deeds, stuff like that, then it would be kind of cool, like go from upstairs to downstairs and the one downstairs turns on, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have the option all speakers or follow me. You could be being stalked by your Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then it'd be nice if you could do it with the lights too. So wherever you go, there's a light shining on you.
Aww.
Oh, yeah, but Jeff, you're never supposed to run towards the light. You're supposed to, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. So if that ever happens to you, run away from the light. We need you here to edit the show.
Yeah.
So when I'm in that tunnel, don't go towards the light?
No, because the show would never be produced again, because we're certainly not going to edit it.
People would be very thankful. They'd be very. It would open up an hour for them every 3 weeks. So every time I'm putting the show together, there's a lot of ads and stuff I go through for products and everything. And the thing that just seems to be blowing up out there is VPNs, virtual private networks and everything. Now, Allison, I know, are you using Hide or Grab My Ass? Which one was that? I confused those two. It made your difference.
Well, I was using Hide My for a while because I was using it to access.
Wait a second. There is a Hide My.
There is.
VPN.
It's called Hide My. They try to call it HMA Pro VPN, but it stands for Hide My. So,
you see, that's Jeff's editing at its finest, because the last time we discussed Hide My, he edited it out of the show thinking it wasn't that we were being dirty. No.
Oh.
It's an...
Jeff, you sweet, innocent little thing, you.
I keep it covered.
Keep it hidden.
Maybe for the sake of our PG audience, we should just start calling it Hide My Donkey.
Or Hide My $8.
Yeah.
But anywho, I was using that for a while to access geo-blocked content, so BBC content, for example. Well, they got smart over at the BBC, and so I got smarter, and I'm actually using a service where you change your DNS on your computer. I actually have to change it on the new Surface Book. You change your DNS. You can do it at the router level or at the level of each individual machine that you're on, and you can access geo-blocked content. It's an Australian site, and I can't remember. I think it's Getflix, getflix.com.au, but if you just Google Getflix, Getflix, you will find it, and I think I paid $40 for an entire year of access.
Now, Jeff, have you ever used a VPN?
No, I really haven't. I felt no need to use one so far.
You're so wealthy, you just say, hey, go ahead and take my money from my bank accounts. And so my curiosity, there's so many of these VPNs out there, and Allison, you'd probably be the best one to answer this. What should people be looking for when thinking about a VPN, besides obviously how accessible is the VPN to set up?
How accessible is it? How fast is it? Because some VPNs will really slow down your traffic. Is it a reputable company? Because remember that when you're using a VPN, your traffic is going through that VPN. So if it's not a reputable provider, they could steal your data. So, for example, for my work, we use a Cisco VPN, which is very, very secure.
Have you guys ever tried USSR VPN?
Dude, great minds think alike.
Putin Central VPN? Yeah, no, I haven't tried that one.
My parents were just in Moscow, so I told them to leave their smartphones at home. Yeah. No, they loved it. They thought it was a gorgeous city. We had a great time. But
Cool.
Jeff, I was gonna say you might want to avoid any VPNs coming out of Russian countries or anything.
I would.
Yeah, but
they're here.
And so, Allison, you're using your VPN on your mobile device as well as your home computers, then?
Well, at this point, my work mobile device is secured in other ways, but on my work computer, I'm using a VPN. On my home mobile devices, I'm using this Getflix, which is actually changing the DNS for the Wi-Fi on for right now a per machine basis, and that's different from a VPN.
My phone's very safe because it's in a Faraday box. That's interesting, yeah, especially if you're doing a lot of financial transactions on your phone, or instead of using public Wi-Fi. I mean, I avoid public Wi-Fi.
I don't go on
4G's
public Wi-Fi
so
anymore.
Good.
I just use my data. I've got Verizon. I got coverage everywhere.
Jeff, what's worse, public Wi-Fi or public restrooms?
Is the A lady involved in this public restroom?
I've yet to find a smart public restroom. They all seem pretty dumb to me.
They're all pretty crappy.
Yeah, hey, just remember, public Wi-Fi, public restrooms, you're going to catch something from one of them.
Yeah.
Avoid them at all costs. It was an exciting week. The long-awaited update to our former, I guess, podcast counterpart, Skype, finally came out.
Oh, joy.
Oh, yeah. Have either of you gotten to try this yet, Jeff?
I went on there today, and there's 4 icons. I was going through them. Cortana was on there. Then you have the Skype, call, ask, and a couple other ones, and it was like, something's changed. So, Brian, I do think that mine updated, and all I did was add someone because I got a call coming up here next week. So, I don't know. I didn't go around and kick it around, but Zoom is always my backup for that.
It did update. You didn't have a choice. Mine, I opened it, and all of a sudden it had that same. And I'll tell you what, they might be doing a great job with narrator, but I had so many moving around. I had focus issues. It was jumping all over, and I didn't look into, they said there's a lot of keyboard shortcuts now, but I didn't have the time because I wasn't planning on doing the update. And I don't like, what are your thoughts, Allison, when companies take the choice out of updating to the latest version of software from you?
Yeah, that bothers me. It still bothers me, even though I'm definitely more of a Microsoft fan now. That really, really bugs me. I have one friend that occasionally I will talk with on Skype about once a year, and when I need to do that, I just get on my phone and use Skype on my phone because I don't even want to have it on my computer at this point. I use Zoom and occasionally Team Talk for podcasting at this point.
Do you think that God sat back on the 7th day and said, gosh, I shouldn't have gave humans continuous update?
That's true. That's very theological.
I bet he regrets that now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Should have kept us at 2.0.
Yep.
Was that the caveman or 2.0?
Cro-Magnon.
Cro-Magnon man, yes. So very disappointed with it. I did end up doing my call on the iPhone, which, I was able to answer the call, and I was able to answer the incoming call, but the call kept dropping too, which was really weird. I don't know if that was an accessibility issue or, God, we've never known Skype to drop calls.
Never.
Never. I was looking into getting the Surface Go tablet, and I was advised to, if I had any questions, to reach out to what I am now calling the Microsoft Assistive Technology Unhelpful Desk, because I gave them a phone call, and it was mind-blowing. If Apple's accessibility line has become the gold standard, this isn't even bronze. It was that bad.
Okay.
I could hear them looking up on basically, I wanted to know, would it be better for me as a narrator user that plans to install a third-party screen reader? Would it be better for me to get the tablet in Windows S mode or do the upgrade to full Windows? And I could hear the woman typing into a computer, looking up and then waiting, and it was mind-blowing how unprepared that desk is, and I really don't think they know anything about assistive technology. Have you, Allison, had any experiences with the Microsoft Assistive Technology Unhelpful Desk?
I have not, but I would suggest 2 things. Number 1, absolutely upgrade to full Windows 10, because with Windows S you can only run narrator, and you're limited in the number of apps that you can run. You can only run RT, what they call RT apps, whereas if you upgrade to full Windows, then you can run any old Windows app you want. Depending on how much power they need, they may run better or worse on that little tablet. But also, I am quite sure that the Microsoft Disability Help desk, if they themselves don't direct you to an option for a quality assurance department when you call them, I would tweet at MSFT Enable on Twitter. And respectfully, I know you like to be humorous, but in this case, I think Microsoft is really trying. So I would...
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, I would respectfully tweet them and tell them about your experience. And I bet you'd be hearing from somebody within a day or two. To try to make it better.
Don't tweet them your unhelpful desk.
Yeah, I would refrain from tweeting that.
Yeah, we'll get into. By the way, just a little teaser. We do have a little story coming up of a negative experience when you go a little too negative, like I do sometimes. Jeff, what about yourself? I don't think you have any Microsoft products except Word, probably, right?
My wife has the laptop, and she calls it once in a while for a problem here or there. Or she goes online and checks things out.
Now, I did do research on my own first to see if I could find this out, but I couldn't, so that's when you can't find something out online.
This is from the couch, though, right?
Hey, I've got long extension cords here. I could do everything from the couch. Jeff, I would like to hang out with you sometime. Maybe we could even do it through Google, now that it has voice commands. Have you ever used Google Hangouts?
Never.
Not to do that.
I have. I had for a work thing, they said, oh, can we call you on Google Hangouts? I said, okay, I have to install it and everything. But it was a pleasant experience. It did seem all voiceover accessible when I tried it. Now, I just answered a call on Google Hangouts, and they just announced recently that they are bringing full voice control to Google Hangouts. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I got a friend. He's a lawyer at Google, and every time I do something with him, it comes through my Gmail. It comes through, then I got Google Hangout. So I got this whole arsenal of Google stuff because that's how he does everything. I think when you work there, you're using it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's not like the guy that I know that works at IBM, and at work he uses a Mac computer.
Well, there's a partnership between Apple and IBM
there is.
now. Yeah.
There is. And IBM hasn't manufactured computers for years, and everything. So that's pretty cool and everything. And so I remember when it used to be, oh God, another music service, how many do we need? Now with another voice chatting or being able to talk to people service, how many do we need?
Yeah.
I like to just not deal with people, so I don't know why I have all these things on my phone. Don't talk to me, just text me or email me. So it could be why my friend count is now down to 29. So there is room if you listen to an old episode where I could have a few new people for my, everybody I know group FaceTime
I got
chat.
a question for you. You mentioned IBM hasn't manufactured computers. Was Lenovo their last computers they produced?
Lenovo? I've heard of it, but I'm not that overly familiar
Lenovo's their own
with it.
company, though.
Yeah, I mean, but IBM sold out to that company, the Lenovo.
Jeff, this is not a business finance podcast, so I'm going to have to respectfully move on here. I
have no idea.
I'm just curious because you're talking about the Microsoft Surface Go and the Surface Pros and all that stuff. Is that going to be a big dent in the other manufacturers of PCs?
Could be. It's nice hardware, and the software runs really well. Obviously, they're trying to take the Apple approach of designing the hardware in which they run their software, and I think they're going to give these other guys a run for their money.
I wish you guys could see me for more reasons than one, but right now it's just one because I'm rubbing my fingers together to show you the world's smallest violin that is crying for all these CEOs who may be losing money. Real sad. But I would like to thank both of you. Normally I do a good enough job on my own making myself look stupid. First Allison with the vocabulary, now you with the business acumen. I mean, so thanks a lot. I now realize why I do this podcast.
Hey, we're here to help,
Yeah, we do what we do best, Brian.
Stupid. So if you listened in between, actually it came out before our last episode, we had a very special interview with Will Bishop out of Australia. If you're a Twitter user, Chirp is blown up all over the place. And I like to think, when I first met Will, I looked at his Twitter following because I had to follow him. And he only had like 4,300 followers. But since he's known me, he's now over 10,000. And I like to think that being on that Blind Ability special episode probably blew up his Twitter feed for him and everything.
All down to you,
Hasn't done
Brian.
it for us, but it's done it for him and everything. So, we talked on the last show about the great experience that we had with the developer Will Bishop, and he was just a fantastic kid. Well, not all experiences with developers are great, because for 2 years ago, I reached out to an app called SleeperBot. It's a fantasy football news app that sends you notifications, and the accessibility of their app was absolutely terrible. So it's now 2 years. They just completely overhauled and redesigned their app, and of course, VoiceOver still doesn't work with it. So I got
bummer.
my nasty on. Oh, yeah. I sent them an email, and I basically said in the email, I explained that, the history, and I sent it from the email from 2 years ago so they could go back and see how long ago I approached them.
Right.
And I know other VoiceOver users have approached SleeperBot as well. And I said, to make the changes you need to make it fully accessible to VoiceOver, it's a simple fix for developers, as long as you're not one of your developers who are obviously lazy and stupid.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes. So I got an email back that was all attacking me. How dare you come to us with name calling? But my favorite part of the email, I went a little far, but hey, I'm sorry. I've been sitting around for 2 years. The app is no longer on my phone. They sleep with the fishes. They're dead to me. So I went back and forth with them, and I did explain, be nice until it's time not to be nice. And 2 years, I think, is more of a long enough leniency period. Anyway, they got back. Well, making our app work with VoiceOver is not a priority or of any importance to us.
Oh, dear. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Now, in between the 2 years, I assume you tried to contact them in between?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's, every...
Okay.
3 to 6 months, when they come out with an update, I check it. Hey guys, remember us? Oh yeah, we plan to get that working, and they just have no plan. And then I finally saw in their last response. So just wanted to tell this tale because, well, first off, Allison, have you ever had an experience like this with a developer?
I had an experience with a piece of software where it was back in the days when you still extracted audio from CDs, and it went from being completely accessible to not on Windows. And I wrote to the developer very nicely, and he basically was like, I'm sorry, legally I don't have to prioritize accessibility. I'm not covered under one of the laws, and it's not something I'm wishing to prioritize at this time.
So, Amazon Prime Day, it may have came and gone, and the mainstream media pretty much just blurred over that whole, in New York City, it was a good 5-7 hour outage on Prime Day, yet they barely talked about it afterwards. Allison, did you show up for Prime Day, and were you able to purchase anything, or did you have problems at first?
I did not, because I tend to buy things when I need them, and so I didn't need anything on Prime Day, so I didn't buy anything.
Yeah, so you stuck by your guns. You said that before Prime Day. That's good.
Yep.
So did I. I ended up getting something. My daughter wanted something, and since I had Prime, I purchased it. And I didn't have the guts to tell her that I got 3 months free of Amazon Music.
Ooh.
So I'm trying that out.
There you go.
Yeah. The problem with all these 3-6 month free things, you have to then remember
to cancel it. Yeah, if you don't like it.
Yeah, so. Well, I went a little crazy on Prime Day. We got to get a little crazy. Okay, I lied. There was more singing. But I couldn't help myself.
Is that really singing?
It's called awful singing, and please stop. So I went a little nutty on Prime Day because the man who edits our show, pointed out to me that my chair was very squeaky. So I got a new desk chair. I got a laser printer. I got a little memory card for the Amazon tablet and everything. But the coolest and most important thing that we'll drop a demo in here was, Allison, I have the GE smart air conditioning that I could talk to that's worked so fantastic. I now have the GE smart microwave, which has been great.
How's that working for you?
It's working great. And, because I'm lazy, if there's one thing we've established on this show, it's that I'm lazy, and I'm not even a developer that can't develop accessibility. But, I got a dot to put right on top of it because I'm like, the last thing I want to do is have to go out to the other room to work the microwave. And let's go listen to a little brief part of the demo that I did.
All right.
I've got a new product here. It's a pretty exciting product that just came to the market. If you listened to the last demo I did, you heard the GE smart air conditioning, which I've been using for about 2 months, that you can control with your A-Lady, your Google Home, or Siri, and it works fantastic. This also is another product from General Electric. It is GE smart microwave oven that just came to the market a few weeks ago. It's a fantastic product. Only difference with this one is it only works with your A-Lady. So if you only have a Google Home or Siri, I guess you're a little out of luck there. I'm very happy with this product. I picked it up on Prime Day. It was not a Prime special, but I was able to get this device for $139. That's US. I also decided to get myself another Dot because I didn't want to run to the other rooms to have to control this device. As long as your device is not using the code word AMAZON, you'll be fine for this demo. If you are, you might want to put on some headphones. So what I'm going to do is give it a few commands. I think it'll work with nothing in the microwave. I just have a plate in there. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this pretty well. Amazon, heat the microwave for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And there you heard a beep, so you know it's working. And the device, the A-Lady did tell you what it did. Amazon, stop the microwave.
Okay.
And you got a little beep, and it stopped the microwave. Now let's try a combo command. Amazon, restart microwave.
Resuming.
And it's resuming. Amazon, stop microwave.
Okay.
Amazon, reheat microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Reheating for 1 minute 30 seconds.
Amazon, stop microwave.
Okay.
Amazon, microwave popcorn.
What's the weight of popcorn?
2 pounds.
Sorry, microwave doesn't support that quantity for popcorn.
Amazon, stop. I have no clue how much popcorn weighs. I knew it wasn't 2 pounds, but did want to see what happened if I said that. So it does have some smarts. I've been using this for about a week and a half now, maybe 2 weeks. Very happy with the purchase. I mean, I think the last dumb microwave I bought was probably about $120. This one only $139 US. And I can only imagine it's going to get better. If you do purchase this GE Smart Microwave, it does work with the GE U Plus app on the iPhone. That is a different application than the one that you use to set up the air conditioning. So it'd be nice if GE could make all these smart skills inclusive in one application. Right now it has 2 different applications. And the setup of this microwave, you do need sighted assistance. The microwave comes with a network password that is taped inside the microwave. Took us a little while to find it. You do need that, and you do need to set up yourself a GE account. But overall, very happy with this microwave. If you're going to do some basic reheating, it's very easy to use. We got it set up in no time. As you can see, it works perfectly with the skill. There are some things it has a difficult time understanding, but if you speak slow enough, as we all know if you listen to this show, I speak a little too fast. If you speak slow enough, it will understand you. Your basic microwaving stuff that you're going to do on a day in and day out basis works really well. And the really cool thing, it kind of feels like the Jetsons when you do tell it through your A-Lady device. Say you go in another room, you have your iPhone with you, you get a push notification that your microwave is done, which is really cool, especially if you have the GE air conditioning on loud in the other room and you can't hear the bing of the microwave. So that's like a nice little added Jetson type thing. The front panel does have no tactile buttons. I did have my buddy put some tactile buttons all over it, and I made a list of what was what, and so far so good. There's an add 30-second button. There's a beverage button. There's a top row. It has pizza, reheat, defrost, all kinds of stuff. It does have a quick minute numeric keypad. You can put some tactile buttons on it, make it very accessible. Works very well to the touch. There is also a start and stop button at the bottom, but you will need to put some tactile buttons on it for now. If you have any questions about the microwave, feel free to reach out to us at Blind Tech Show on Twitter or thatblindtechshow@gmail.com. We are part of the Blind Abilities Podcast Empire, also known as BAPE to you millennials. That's it for now. I am out.
Wow. That Brian Fischler guy just does some amazing demos.
He really does.
I don't know. I don't know what's better about him, his smart or good looking. What do you think, Jeff?
3, 2, 1.
That Brian ought to teach technology or something, I tell you.
But the best thing about him is he's humble.
Always.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, when was the last time you cleaned up your Twitter feed?
I never really went crazy with it because I read something a long time ago. I read something that you can't follow more people than they follow you or something. There used to be some regulations on that. And so when I first got on Twitter, yeah, I followed a bunch of people and then I just thought, I'm going to stop this for a while. And then, yeah.
Jeff, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
I guess I would do once in a while when I see these constant things coming in and I find out who's doing it all the time. Like if I wanted to find out about Play-Doh or whatever, anything else, I'd go follow them. But some people just feel the need to retweet anything and everything. So I get rid of those people.
And for our listeners out there, I assume Jeff is talking about Plato, the philosopher, not the dough.
No, the dough. I got grandkids.
Oh, the dough. Oh, Plato. I stand corrected. Maybe I'm not the dumbest one on the podcast. Allison, how about yourself? When was the last time you cleaned up your Twitter?
Well, I'm pretty much constantly cleaning up my Twitter feed because I have discovered that you can mute almost anything or anyone, any phrase, and I'm trying to get all politics out of my Twitter. So it's a constant work in progress.
I had some spare time last night while I was laying on the couch listening to the Yankee game, and I decided to look through who I was following, and it was pretty humorous. You know, you haven't looked at who you follow in a long time when I was still following great shows like Triple Click Home and Sarah Talk.
Wow.
Yeah. I stopped following comics that have never gotten back to me about doing Laugh for Sight. So if you're a comic and you listen to this show and you're wondering why I'm no longer following you on Twitter, that it may be the reason. But the best part, I was following television shows that haven't been on the air in like 7 years. Then I got to it, the ultimate of all embarrassments. I was still following Bill Cosby.
Oh, no. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, so I was like, well, that can't be good. It was funny because I recently posted on Facebook. When I was a kid, I was a cute kid. It's just been all downhill since I was about 7. And I actually did a commercial with Bill Cosby when I was a kid, and I posted the photo on Facebook, and my uncle had to point out, Brian, you just seem to meet all the classy guys. It was Bill Cosby, O.J. Simpson, now my buddy Craig Carton, who's facing 45 years in prison.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is, man. I guess good people just flock to me.
Criminal element.
So... because we've established the show is always about me, I figured it was about time, we haven't done it in a few episodes, a return to what's pissing off Brian. What do you think about that, Allison?
Well, that's a really easy answer. Everything.
Yeah, but like the previous 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But, the first thing, people, you might want to sit down because there's a few things we're going to get into tonight. The first thing that's been pissing me off is, I like to think, at least I can't speak for you two, do not do this show for the credit, but it was pointed out to me by some people, and I'm not going to mention any names, that people were giving credit for something that we did here, Chirp, and helping make it accessible to other people. And that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way and everything. But then that frown was turned upside down by the good people over at AppleViz, who gave Blind Abilities a very nice mention and a very nice shout out because they do things the right way, and they mentioned our Chirp interview, which if you haven't heard, check that out. Why do you do this podcast, Allison?
Because I'm on about 7,000 other podcasts, and I figured, why not one more?
Hey. We were 6,942, so...
Allison... I just realized the reason she does this podcast. She wasn't a child of the 80s. She's too young. She never learned to just say no.
No, believe it or not, you guys are actually very likable and our humors mesh, and it just kind of worked out.
It did. No, we're happy to have you. How about yourself, Jeff?
Aw, I'm taking this in. Hold on.
Okay.
Just having a moment. Give him a sec.
He's choking up. He's a little verklempt.
Why do I do this podcast? I think it's fun. You guys are fun. It's just kind of a relief. It's like I'm not in a group over here, over there. It's just kind of like our little world, It is. We're one of the biggest secrets out there.
It is. Shh. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
And if you do want to tell anybody, you could tweet at Blind Tech Show and let them know we're here and we're here. But Yeah, no, seriously. We don't do it for the credit. I like to do it seriously, in all seriousness. I have fun with you guys. I like both of you, and as we've established, I don't have very many visible friends. They're all invisible. So I like to think, even though I've never met you in person, that you're both visible. So that's a good thing.
Imaginary lover.
Was that?
I thought no more singing on the podcast.
But no, I seriously do it because of you two. I enjoy it. I like to think we do get some useful information out there. And, I'm going to give an old shout out to the old gang at Cero Talk, the podcast, and TA Weekly, Tech Access Weekly. They were podcasting before a lot of us were doing it. Rodney Edgar. It's good to get the people's names right. And
Isn't it Randy?
Randy? No, it's Rodney.
No,
Edgar.
it's Rodney.
It's Rodney, and
you just said it's wrong so many times that it got me.
We know I
Well, and
butchered
then it's
names.
Ricky Enger too, so it's like Edgar
Ricky,
and
there you
Enger.
go,
My goodness.
People that podcast before us had confusing names. It wasn't like Brian Fischler. Is that with a Y or an I? But no, the people that came before us, they really paved the road, and you've got about 15 or 20 great pure blind tech shows out there now that all have different personalities, and you'll be amazed. You might learn something from one you don't learn from another. All we ask is that you give us credit, but no, we love you all. And big banner news here. You've been downloading us through the Blind Abilities Podcast Empire, also known as BAPE, pretty soon, and we will be making more announcements. It'll be on the Twitter. I'm sure Apple will talk about it, Amazon, Google. That Blind Tech Show will have its own podcast feed. So if you hate that Blind Tech Show, but if you're still listening to this episode, I'm going to assume you like that Blind Tech Show, and you only want that Blind Tech Show, you could download it with our new podcast feed, which we'll be getting out there. But I suggest you subscribe to both because Blind Abilities also has a lot of great content. What do you think about that, Allison, that you just kind of found out about it?
Hallelujah.
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 That's what somebody who has a singing voice can do, unlike myself.
Yeah, I figured I had to class up the joint after all y'all's not so great singing.
Well, that's good. I know Allison's no longer
You're
in the
here
map
for a
environment.
reason, Allison.
That's right. That's what I keep telling myself.
Jeff, I'm getting busy messages a lot.
Don't say that in front of my
mail
dog.
now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. Sorry about that. We have to come up with a bee lady.
Yes.
I've seen this actually on a lot of the blind tech email lists where it's happening to a lot of people. And instead of waiting this out, the B lady, what I find, just go to your desktop with a control option Shift D and do a command option escape, bringing up the force quit menu. Sometimes it'll show you mail's not responding, but instead of waiting it out, just quit mail. Even if you're in the middle of an email, the great thing is you won't lose anything. That email will come right back up. So that's a little solution if you are getting B lady.
So why do we say B lady?
Were you not just here 2 minutes ago on the podcast? I was making
What
her
were you
dog.
doing?
Oh,
Well,
actually,
no.
Jeff is not. And you know what? Some of our listeners might not be guide dog users, so
It's
why don't
true.
you explain?
Okay, so when you say the word busy twice in a row, and for certain guide dog schools, that is the doggie's command to go to the bathroom.
So I, in my brilliant wit, decided if we had the A lady so we wouldn't set them off, thought we should go with the B lady
So
so
we
we
don't
We
wouldn't
don't set the
our
dogs
guide-
off. Yeah.
Believe it or not, Jeff, 90% of our listeners are guide dogs.
That's right, they said.
Yeah. And now I'm going to have to bring on a special guest for the next thing that's pissing off Brian.
Roll.
It's Dr. Brian Fischler.
Oh,
Because this new fad, the time management applications where I don't know if I'm spending enough time using Facebook, Instagram, or the iPhone because now everything's getting into monitoring your time management. Let me tell you something, people. If you need an app to tell you if you're spending too much time using it, you're spending too much time using it. And that is from Dr. Brian Fischler. You don't need a prescription, nothing. What are your thoughts about these time management things, Allison?
I think it's so nannyish and so restrictive of our freedoms as human beings and as American citizens for some of us. I really just, I I feel really strongly that it makes me angry because I don't need an app to police me and to tell me if I'm using Facebook too much or whatever I'm doing. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but Twitter just makes me.
I got a wife.
Not anymore.
I mean, how many times do all of a sudden you kind of like set the phone down for a second and there's someone standing next to you like they just asked you a question 3 times?
Yeah, no.
Not me.
And, you know,
I heard about it.
I think I may have said this before. The nerds have won, and we know all these nerds, while they're brilliant, they were the kids taking names when the teacher stepped out of the classroom, and this is their way of doing the same thing. And it just drives me bonkers. I mean, come on, people. If you need to... Oh, how much time am I spending? You're spending too much time using it. Use some common sense. Put it down. Get your work done first. Then go play games that aren't accessible to... But...
You know, I would like to see more of a time management thing. Say an exercise app that if you don't exercise, you lose Facebook for a day, you know, or something, you know, like take away your whole phone. But if you exercise, you get 100% of your phone back. You know?
Thought I read somewhere that they were doing that, like you could give. Oh, maybe that's what it is with the iPhone time management. If you could set like if your kid did chores where that you could give them more time to use certain things and everything.
No, that was my invention. I was supposed to work on.
That was you. You haven't patented that yet.
Like the eye shovel, the eye rake.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't put this in the show notes. That would not go over well in France because France just banned like all cell phones, all pads, everything from schools. Which I wonder how that's going to go over with the blind students in this. What do you mean a textbook? What's a textbook?
What are they going to do? Start chopping down trees now and making paper again?
You know, they'll probably surrender. Oh, and there goes France. Down goes France. And we have gotten an email that we do have some French listeners, so I do apologize.
No, French has been in the news lately. They just came out with a new tank. It has 6 gears, 1 forward, 5 reverse.
Did you say French has been in the news lately?
France.
I was thinking French fries are back. They're no longer freedom fries. The thing that's the bane of my whole existence, Allison, have you ever gone on iCloud.com?
Only when I've had to.
This is going on 3 years now. This is even worse than SleeperBot. Anyway, I was on the phone with them today. I had joined because we've established I don't communicate with enough people, so I joined a new blind email group, and...
I'm sorry. I mean,
yay.
Yeah.
Sorry that I don't have any friends.
It's come to this, Brian.
It's come to this. Hey.
Thanks for coming.
Guess what? I probably maxed out all the blind tech groups, so now I'm going to start moving to other, disabilities.
Oh, there you go.
There's support text groups and everything. I go to AA, even though I don't have an alcohol problem, just to be around people. So anyway, iCloud.com, they never have been able to make it work very well with VoiceOver. And I actually had to call Apple Accessibility because when I went to create a rule to move this to my subscriptions mailbox, it disappeared. And I tried it twice. And Apple, this leads me into the final thing that's pissing me off. How in the world can Apple not have a senior VP of quality control?
Maybe they're not making enough money.
That's true. They're only getting ready to be the first $1 trillion company or something by analysts.
They already are. They already are. They
see, that's why we have to do this show live, because if we would have done this yesterday, they would have been short of. But it was interesting. That guy Kramer, who supposedly gets everything wrong on the stock channel, says that technically they should be a $300 company. So that tells me I should put all my money in what he said, because they're only valued at $200 on the stock market right now. Allison, can you believe? And it's funny because didn't the NFB like 3 years ago call out Apple for their lack of quality control? So maybe they got rid of everybody. They followed what the NFB said.
I don't think that's what they meant.
Oh.
I think you read it wrong, Brian. I think
okay.
To go back, give it another
That's
read.
what happens when you have a 3rd grade reading level. This has been That Blind Tech Show. We haven't told you the email because we know you're going to want to email us in to compliment us on something. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell them to fire the host. Well, I guess I'm the host.
I've been trying to get them to fire the host for years, but
Yeah.
Hey, actually...
Union.
Actually, you cannot have been trying to fire... Maybe you were trying to fire me from that old show that I was on. Because September 7th will be the 3 of us 1-year anniversary.
Aww.
I will be putting together an Amazon public wish list of
I expect flowers from
products.
both of you and chocolate. And what am I saying? Just get me electronics.
Yeah, really.
I was planning to fly to Napa and serenade you with my great singing voice.
Oh, I'll remember to wear my earplugs.
I will be flying to Napa.
Well, hey, we're getting to that segment. Let me just tell them the email, thatblindtechshow@gmail.com. Of course, on Twitter till August 16th when D-Day happens, @blindtechshow. Jeff, we'll go to you first. What do you have coming up?
I'm getting ready on Monday. I'm flying to San Francisco, shuttling it up to Napa, home of Miss Hartley.
Oh, we are gonna paint the town a shocking color. We're gonna turn
Yeah.
Napa on its head, huh?
If it's not burnt up by then.
God, don't even say it. There's a couple that are burning right now, but it hasn't hit Napa yet, so we're okay.
Okay, wait. You're waiting for me.
Allison, are you roasting marshmallows at that new house you bought?
They say it's not in a fire zone. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
But they did say I was really calmed down because I'm flying out there. They say it's 10% contained.
Yeah, 10%.
So that means 90% of it's still out there?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they don't have a clue what's going on. And I'm like, huh.
See, you guys are adventurous. I live in a safe neighborhood where on Saturday night there was a quadruple homicide suicide.
Oh goodness. Yes, it's so safe.
Yeah. It was 20 blocks from me. So, well, that's pretty cool, Jeff. Why don't you tell the good listeners why you are going to Napa?
Actually, they're having a music camp the first week I'm out there. And then for 2 weeks after that, I'll be assisting George Wurtzel in teaching an advanced class and a beginner's class in woodworking. It's the Woodworkers for the Blind organization that holding their 7th annual out there at Enchanted Hills Camp.
Very cool.
I assume for you that's music singing training camp, right?
I record, Brian. That's why I
you
record.
Okay,
yes.
okay. Thankfully. So, Allison, besides somebody invading your backyard, what do you have going on?
Just working hard, getting the house together, being on like every podcast under the flippin' sun. And you can keep up with my antics when I post on Twitter at Hot4Technology. That's hot, the number 4 technology, at least until August 16th. But I think I'm going to stick it out and figure out what's going to happen next in the next chapter of Twitter. It's not going away. So I think I'll keep at it.
Yeah, I looked at the native Twitter app yesterday because, believe it or not, with Twitterific, when I was going through and I was adding a lot of people to lists and stuff, so YouTube might have been added to a list. I thought that stuff was private, but obviously it's not, as it was pointed out that Mr. Jeff Thompson, known as Jeff, was added to my blind tech list. And I was like, well, how do you know that? It's like, wow. I was like, did you put a spy cam in here or something? Now that I've cleaned up my Twitter feed, I really have no plans. Summer is wide open and everything, and I wasn't invited to Napa, and I never get invited.
You are always welcome in
anywhere.
Napa. I have a guest bedroom. Now that doesn't mean that all of the That Blind Tech Show listeners can be lining up around the block, but you two are always welcome in Napa. So.
That's a very small block if you're talking about 9 people. Okay, 10.
Now, I've never checked the accessibility of Airbnb, but how is Allison B&B's accessibility? Is
Allison
there an app I
B&B
can
is
use?
extremely accessible. You bring your own darn device. I give you the Wi-Fi password, and you're on your own. So.
What about the VPN password? Because I don't want you getting all my financial data and everything. So
You're on your own there too.
I am hopeful.
She has to support that museum.
Yes.
I am hopeful that one day I can get out to Napa and hide my. And for now, we are out.
That was a riot, you guys. It was a riot.